Join the community, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Thumbs the video up. So according to Mr. Frank Warren, or as many UK boxing fans refer him to as Fish Eyes, Fish Eyes Frank. Fish Eyes Frank says that Tyson Fury is a bigger draw than Anthony Joshua. Now, in one of my past videos, I asked the question, who was the bigger draw, Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury? And the majority of my subscribers who come from the UK told me that Anthony Joshua is a bigger draw. He's a bigger name than Tyson Fury. And they gave me their reasons as to why. They said that, they don't remember or they don't recall seeing Tyson Fury sell out 80,000 tickets at Wembley. And it's true, Tyson Fury, I don't think Tyson Fury has ever fought in a big stadium, right? Tyson Fury is a very controversial heavyweight, right? Because of the things he said in the past. He's very outspoken. He basically speaks his mind. That's what makes Tyson Fury, in my opinion, popular when it comes to like the boxing fans, right? Is that he has a mouth, right? Anthony Joshua doesn't talk shit, right? He doesn't really talk shit, but because he came from winning a gold medal, he was immediately put in there in these big undercard fights, right? He was put in there very quickly, and he immediately got a really big following. And when it comes, like I said, when it comes to UK boxing fans, they, support their fighters from the very beginning. And Anthony Joshua then started knocking guys out left from right, so that just grew his fan base. So even though he wasn't a shit talker, that the fact that he was knocking people out was why he got such a big fan base, right? And of course, he ended up becoming champion, and now he's in the position where he's at. It's kind of like Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was never a trash talker, but he was a big draw, Manny Pacquiao. Why? Because he was knocking people out, especially in his prime when he was fighting in the lower weight classes, right? So when it comes to Tyson Fury, what keeps him his name in the media and whatever, and what keeps people talking about him is his mouth, right? And of course his skill set. So, but according to Frank Warren, Frank Warren is his promoter, so he's going to be saying that Tyson Fury is a bigger draw, right? Just like Eddie Hearn's going to be saying no, Anthony Joshua's a bigger draw. Just like I would imagine Tyson Fury's promoter will be saying that he's the bigger draw. Because fighters have egos, so they all think they're the number one heavyweight. But we have to see facts. We have to see numbers. And the fact is, Anthony Joshua is clearly the guy who's selling out arenas. Clearly the guy who's making more money, right? He's making more money than Tyson Fury. More people are buying his pay-per-views. I mean, 300,000 buys took place when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder, right? You just compare that to Anthony Joshua numbers, right? There's no comparison. Anthony Joshua sold way more, right? So he sold more pay-per-views, which means more people were willing to pay their money to watch Anthony Joshua fight guys like Vladimir Klitschko, right? And guys like Joseph Parker, right? Then they were willing to pay to watch Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, right? And more people are willing to go to the live events. Like I said, 80,000 people were willing to pay to watch him fight Vladimir Klitschko, which is a lot of people to be going to watch a boxing match between two guys, right? This is not like a football. Like when you think of 80,000 people, what I think of, at least? I think of, oh man, 80,000 people showed up. That's like they're watching a football game, right? They're going to the stadium to watch a live football game, or like a concert, right? You would think like some big rock star will be in a concert and he will sell out the crowd. 80,000 people, 100,000 people will show up to watch him perform, right? Those are like concert levels, right? That's what at least I think of when I think of like that many people. But you don't really think of that many people when it comes to boxing. But it just goes to show you that he is a very big draw, Anthony Joshua. Until maybe somebody beats him, maybe or maybe not. Maybe because he's well received by many boxing fans around the world, they will still support him even if he loses. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson got knocked out. He got beat up against Buster Douglas. Then he went to jail for rape. He came back and he was a bigger draw after losing and after being convicted for rape than he was when he was the undisputed heavyweight champion, because he was a massive draw, right? He was a big deal. Everyone knew who he was when he was undisputed champion back in the late 80s, right? But then when he came back after losing, you would think after losing a fight, after not being undisputed at heavyweight anymore, you would think after, being convicted for rape, something, horrible, terrible, you would think he would have lost a lot of fans for that, but he didn't. When he came back, people were going crazy for him, right? He was still able to make so much money because, like I said, many people say, I read the documentaries, many people say that he was a bigger draw when he came back. And like I said, you would think after the losses, but it was because he was such a, he was a universal name, right? People from around the world knew who he was, and they were just anxious, and they were desperate to watch him come back, right? I'm pretty sure back in the 90s, people were like, man, I miss Tyson. I haven't seen him fight in like 5 years. Come on, man. Free Tyson from jail. So anyway, I'm getting off the point, but off the subject, but it's pretty obvious that our Frank Warren is just being a promoter. He thinks highly of his fighter. Of course, he's gonna say this. Like I said, I think the only way you might be a bigger draw than Anthony Joshua is if you actually beat him. And I say this to both Deontay Wilder and both Tyson Fury. Fight him on pay-per-view. Fight him at Wembley. And in a very exciting fight and knock him out. And then that's how a lot of people are going to know your name, right? A bunch of people are going to know your name. And imagine you have a rematch, and again, it sells out and everything. It sells out. And so, like I said, I think you have to beat him. And even if you beat him and he's still a bigger draw, because sometimes fighters are just bigger draws, right? So even if you beat him, they're still going to be a bigger draw than you. But even if you are still not a bigger draw than Anthony Joshua, even if he still makes more money and draws more people to watch his fights, if you beat him, you could always say, you know what, I don't make the same money as of Joshua. I'm not a bigger draw than AJ, but hey, I beat him, and there's video footage of me beating him. So every hardcore boxing fan will respect you for that, at least, right? So, yeah, that's it. That's what Frank Warren had to say, man. Frank Warren says Tyson Fury is a big draw. Subscribe for latest in boxing, guys, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.